So, some good drills, basic drills. Start with good, practical ways of practicing basics. Of course, you know, there are many others. We're practicing blocking. Generally speaking, we're practicing 5 basic closed hand blocks. The stance you mainly do that is either attributtes, obviously, or attributtes. Generally speaking, I want you to be mindful of, in most cases, teaching the technique where you're stepping back and blocking. Okay, you can do exercises where you're coming forward and then blocking up to there. It can happen, it's true. Joe Nobuke has a practical application for doing that, and stepping in and striking almost at the same time, you might say. Most blocks coming in and blocking this way, stepping through, blocking down. They've got much more relevance going backwards. So you're practicing line drills up and down. Tend to practice a strike going forward and a block going back. Okay? When it comes to explaining stances and the reason, some of the reasons why stances are important, obviously, again, you kind of know, but how do you communicate this to the student to put more relevance into the exercise and practicing things in traditional stances all the time. Generally speaking, the low stances, which in our case would be your back leaning stance, your attributtes, and your shikudachi, I suppose to some degree your kikudachi, certainly your shikudachi, they're designed for a number of reasons, you might say, from a fighting application. Let's start with shikudachi, the lowest of them all, and probably the most weird-looking fighting stance. You know, you wouldn't sort of get into shikudachi to fight someone necessarily, but what is it there for? Well, obviously, first of all, it's designed to be able to break balance. That's probably one of its main features, is to be able to break someone's balance. Dropping your own body low and pulling them low. Yeah? Okay. Whether it's in cipher, for example, when someone's grabbed you and pulled you, and you drop down and pull them down into you, pull the arm down into you to strike and hit. You're not just staying upright and breaking, you're staying upright and pulling down low and striking it. Okay? Or whether it's in Seionshin, where you've come up, your hands on your throat, and you pull them down, out. You pull them down and forward, out. Okay? It's breaking balance. In a judo perspective, where they use shikudachi a lot, they're coming down, they're just resting in and boom, break. Break one way, pull down another way. It's just pull someone's weight forward. Okay, so it's a good stance to be used for breaking balance. Okay. It can also be a stance used for stability from a side-on position. The Zen Kusudachi obviously has a lot of stability front on. You know, if Anthony's just going to walk towards me and try and push me, you know, I come back to here straight away. You know, if someone was going to try and tackle you, come back long straight away. Keep the legs away. If necessary, scrawl both legs obviously and be long. Okay? So long stance has a back stability there. And the forward has forward power and back power, doesn't it? Yeah? Stability. It doesn't have a lot of sideways stability. Okay? But that's, of course, the other thing about Zen Kusudachi is it's an exaggerated fighting stance, which teaches you the power that can be sent from your back heel. That's why we always keep the back heel on the ground in long stance. And you might say, well, how come then when we're punching in like a shorter position, the back heel's off the ground? Well, essentially what it's doing is, I believe, it's also helping us to train the back leg, the stability of the back leg to be engaged in the reverse punch. Okay? When it's long, the back heel on the ground, the front foot, the front foot's going to be right because you're leaning on it. The back heel can come off the ground in Zen Kusudachi, you see happen. The heel will up like that. On the ground, it gives you power and stability to punch forward. But even in a shorter version, it still trains you to use body dynamic when you're punching. Yeah? Does that make sense? So when it's long, it's traditional, it's not totally practical with fighting though. But even when you shorten it, you've been used to practicing in long stance and being deep when you punch, or you'll be deep even when you're in a short stance. Yeah? If you're short stance in the style of this all the time, yeah, you can imagine the fighting, when it got balled down to a fighting stance, it'd be very tall. You might notice that Taekwondo, for example, when they do kata, it's very like that, you know. Their stances get very deep. Well, that's because they fight very straight-legged, you know, because they don't punch much. It's all kicking, a lot of it's kicking off the front leg, you know. So It's horses for courses, it depends what your style generally has to offer. Karate is a more grounded upper body and lower body style, so therefore our stances are deeper and longer. The deep stance is how you practice it. The slightly less than deep stance, but no less weak stance is what you fight. Okay? The Shikodachi provides stability too, but not from front on. Anthony, you can easily push me over here, right? But from side on, you power this way, right? You can lock in. Okay? So, and of course, if someone is pushing me back this way, when you lock down with the Shikodachi, you're locked in, right? So it provides you with stability from side on. It provides you with the ability, rest around here, to break. Someone's balanced straight away and put them down. And because I know what's coming, he doesn't. So when he's not expecting, he just comes straight down. And the other thing is techniques coming high before, boom, getting in low, being able to strike down at vital areas. In the groin, particularly, and also getting low enough. There's a step through a reverse punch, for example. Getting low, taking legs, you know? Getting low. In other words, being able to fly low to the ground. Striking into the groin, pulling legs out, and making yourself lower. If you're a short person, it's making yourself shorter. Yeah? You might say, well, just expose the groin, but again, like I said, you don't fight that way. Be on an angle flow. Yeah, like this. So, there's three good applications for something like Shikodachi. That looks really nothing more in a kata than a good looking stance, but it has applications: stability, balance breaking, and vicinity to vital areas when you're down low. And of course, Shikodachi comes from Goju, and Goju do a lot of striking, groin strike, hammer fist, and slaps, and so on, okay? You're obsessed with the groin. Okay? Everything's about hitting the groin. Like nothing else exists. When we go to Japan and train, it's all about the groin. So we all wear arm-plated sort of groin guards. That's the best. And of course, Zetbutsudachi has a similar sort of thing: forward, backward stability, and trains you. It's a bit like sprinters that practice sprinting in sand and up hills. Their body gets trained hard, harsher than normal conditions, so when they're running on the track, they feel light as a feather. So Zetbutsudachi is a good training stance for that case as well. Kokutsudachi is similar. You can still strike in Kokutsudachi, you can still strike out, but it recognises the slightly easing back dynamic of a block. You don't normally step in for a block. We practice this up and down, you know, like we do. But generally speaking, you don't practice many defensive techniques going forward, blocks anyway. You might counter strike and go forward, but the back lean stance just, again, it's a bit like sumo. It gives you a lot of backward stability. It's quite strong in this position here, going backwards, okay? But the aesthetic of it is to be low and to be side on, to chop that and use that front arm. Okay, you're not square on and using that. Be more side on and deflecting, yeah? We'll talk about this, we'll do some of that later, but of course the shuto is not just used for, deflecting out of the way. That is one way you might say this can be used again. So it can be used to deflect, not so, but more likely it's used for striking. We've talked about this in black technique. There's a soft tissue. If you just position here and punch comes in, boom, we're going to chop down an arm this way, or it's a round arm technique, boom, strike in that way. Step off an angle into the soft tissue. I've said this before, but you just practice shutoing your device and flex your arm and hit it. You know, your arm, very painful. Hit it hard. Feel what it's like, okay? So, shuto, even though we train the shuto to be hard and conditioned, in my mind it's a strength from a defensive point of view, striking soft tissue. Okay? And that soft tissue can include the legs as well. Okay, I won't demonstrate that one. Later we will though. It's a self-defense technique. So shuto is very useful for in close as a defensive technique. From a striking point of view, we practice all around here. So you might have noticed when we were here before, we were sort of shuto. But again, it could be a case of Shuto. What happens when I shuto this way? His head goes that way, crack, straight down.
Right.
Down to and the shuto coming down, top of shuto you used to say break cords, and break collarbones, and completely disable the trap. The traps there, aren't they? Right there. You hit there. You know, you used to see the old, those who are my vintage, you see the old James Bond movies, walking behind us go, doosh, and people would sort of get knocked out and think, oh, how fake. But try popping a karate chop down on the trap from behind. You just feel like you're being shot. Seriously. So, to be able to hit down this way, boom, boom, shuto, boom, these are all very good in close range techniques you go use. And then if someone's grabbing hold of you somewhere, to be able to chop, boom, chop, boom, is more effective based on what we do, trying to manipulate and turn them around and sort of do something else. It's all very basic from there. Boom, boom. Even just a flick in the eye, bang, shuto, chop down the arm, elbow, chop down. You know, it's all very close stuff. It doesn't have to be all big straight punches, okay? The shutos are very unspoken, close range weapons. We tend to talk close range in terms of short punches and elbows, which they can be very good, obviously. But the shuto is just as deadly, and it's a lot more dexterous because the hands are open. Okay? So shuto can be used in a number of defensive ways. As for the more upright, and look, kibudach really, you wouldn't use kibudach in any different a way than you'd use shikudach, quite frankly. It just happens to be the Shotokan version of shikudach, actually, you know what I mean? Where wide, deep stance, it's just not as deep and low as the goju version, which is the shikudach. So kibudach and shikudach have a similar type of practical application. Long stance has its own. Back leaning is really just, again, rocking back in the back leg. But we do a lot of rocking back in the back leg and then onto the front leg, like we did earlier, right? Then you've got your more upright stances, like cat stance, cat stance in New Zealand, cat stance, and sunshi, pigeon toe stance, or whatever you want to call it. What's the other name? Hourglass, that's it. Okay. So these are obviously hourglass stance. Sunshin is all about learning strength in the legs and carrying the legs when your feet are shallow. Okay? You don't have the depth to rely on it. You don't have the foot here. We can really lock down and be strong. You've got to have that stability when you're shallow. Okay? It's more of a defensive stance position rather than an attacking stance position, if that makes sense. Yeah? And you've got to be able to learn to have the power in the legs and be strong even when you're shallow. And I guess what I see it being in practical use in doing, apart from being a little bit of a protector of the groin from something coming in, having it there, it also well, it protects the groin from behind, obviously, which is what they practice a lot in Japan too. In Sunshin, I come up behind and just kick you straight up to the legs and try and kick you in the groin, right? And the idea, what it teaches you, to make sure you're engaging your lower stomach muscles here and make sure you're rolling your butt under.
Hey.
When you roll your butt under in a stance and you're strong and straight, and your legs, especially the back heel, basically it gets almost up there and it hits your legs. Your legs are kind of locked in a position before you get hit. And if you're not in stance properly, if your butt's sticking out a little bit and you're not having to engage these muscles, it goes all the way up. Okay? So it teaches you very quickly to engage the right muscles. It teaches you what it should feel like in its proper guard, you know what I mean? From front on, obviously, Sunshin's not meant to be able to block a front kick from the front that comes up and out. What it is supposed to be able to stop, just like the back, is the kick that comes straight up. Because in the same way, when it comes straight up, it comes forward where it means your legs up here, because of how your legs are positioned and tension, and your butt's rolled forward, your butt's been sticking out, your tailbone straight down. There'll come a point where it comes up there and doesn't quite get you. Right? It's not far to go, but it doesn't quite get you. It's not meant to do anything. Again, it's not meant to be able to stop a kick that comes up and out that way. Follow? So you see people overdoing the stance, doing that. Probably putting the knees across, thinking, oh, it's not allowed to come up between here or it needs to be tucked in. That's not the way the stance works, okay? It's supposed to just stop that, coming straight up. Which, by the way, is a much more harmful way to be kicked in the groin than straight ahead. The leg coming up is worse, okay? So that's what it guards against as well. But I also believe it teaches you to be able to fight in a shallow position and throw techniques from power in a shallow position, not having to rely on depth. Yeah? And I guess it teaches you to be upright and strong even when you're not low or long. Okay? Cat stance, of course, cat stance is a good fighting stance. Okay? But naturally, we know what cat stance is designed to be able to do. It's designed to be able to let us throw a defensive technique off the front leg. Some might say an attacking technique off the front leg, it's delivered in just the right spot, which again would be the groin naturally. But what we're going to work on here is going to do some drills. We're going to start with by coming back in cat stance, kicking, coming back in cat stance, kicking. But after we come back, we're going to practice going off to the side, kicking, off to the side, kicking, because that's when it's greater application, is going off to the side. And then we'll starting in cat stance and sliding back into sunshine dash. And we're getting those two techniques working together. Okay? So we'll start to sort of see how we can use those stances. But in explaining, you wouldn't take this long to explain to the students every night, but just a little bit of extra knowledge in the back there to talk to them about what these stances are for. It doesn't mean you fight in these exact stances, but it means you train in those stances, you train the brain and the body and the muscles to work together in those stances, be tight in the right places and strong in the right places, so that when you do put into more free-flowing exercise, you've got the lowness you need, you've got the stability you need, yeah? You've got the balance breaking you might need, you've got the stability this way you need, the anchor that you need in the back leg and so on, yeah? Make sense? Okay, let's go. All right.